Hello everyone, welcome to the month of February, and you know what that means? It is Black History Month, also known as African Heritage Month. Now, we are not only celebrating the achievements of the Black Americans today, we're also recognizing the achievements of upcoming Black authors. Now, I have everything now from realistic fiction, historical fiction, LGBTQIA, I have horror, I have mystery, fantasy, poetic and lyrical, and even now, graphic novels. Now, for a special occasion, if you come to the library, there's also going to be kits offered to make your own African travel mask using just a simple base mask like this that I'll show you today. So, let's begin. Now I'm going to tell you what's included in the kit. You'll get your very own mask, some paints, a paintbrush, a strip of cardstock paper, and crepe paper. Furthermore, you will also have an African travel mask inspiration sheet. Now, this is some of the stuff that's not included in the kit, but I strongly suggest providing yourself with newspaper to protect the surface from paint, water, some pencils or a marker. I highly suggest a marker because it shows up a little bit better than the pencil, scissors, and a hot glue gun or your preferred glue. You can also use cold glue or tacky glue for this craft as well. So first things first, I highly suggest getting your cardstock and your marker and start figuring out what you want to do with some parts of the face that you want to edit. Now, right now I already cut out some parts, but since you only got a small strip, I strongly suggest using any type of pieces, like any scrap pieces that you get from cutting it. Keep them because you may need them. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to square out the nose, narrow down the eyes. So first things first, I'm going to work on the nose. Now, this is the nose piece, so I'm going to actually square out the nose. So I decided I want to square out the nose and narrow the eyes. And you can do this any way you like. This step is actually optional. Just put your preferred glue on there and stick it. If you need to make adjustments while you're working on it, do so. You still have a bit, for hot glue and cool glue, you still have a bit more time to adjust before it actually dries. And if it starts to burn you, you can always use the cold water. There you go. That works out. And then you can actually trim with the scissors if you think it's too much. I think I like it the way it is. When you're done with doing all the gluing and edits, it should look more like this. Not bad. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. And don't worry about if you didn't do it perfectly. It's not all about perfection. It's about creativity, right? So now, once your glue is dry, or cold if you use hot glue, you are actually ready for the next step of painting the mask. Now, before I even start painting, I am going to actually put the crepe paper around the mask as well. Now, you do not have to do this step. You can actually put this behind the mask. So that's actually an option. So you can actually do it earlier for those who are bold. You could do the crepe paper earlier and then paint over the crepe paper. Or you can do it after you finish painting and do the crepe paper from behind and then try to make it flatten out itself. So I'm actually want to actually put it in the front and then paint over it. So I think I might like the look a little better that way. Alright, this is now glued with hot glue right around the top edges here. Just be careful if you're doing this either from the inside or the outside with hot glue, It's gonna burn your fingers a bit, so make sure you still have that cold water near you. If you want to actually hold this off for later and make sure there's no paint that gets on that part, just fold it in. Now it's ready for a painting. Now, there's actually 4 different colors of paint. Sometimes you get either a variation of brown or black, red, yellow, and green to work with. This is the part where you actually use your imagination and figure out what colors that you want to use. I think what I really want to do first is maybe start off with a little bit of the base that I have. And don't worry if it's not perfect. And the whole point, this is your project, so be creative. Just in case, you might actually need to double coat this, okay? So start off with your first coat, and then later on, double coat it to hide it, okay? You can also use any of the other colors to hide it as well. If you think your base color is not gonna hide it. Now I'm gonna pause this video for a while because I wanted to actually let it dry for a bit. And then you'll see what I've done so far with the mask, okay? Alright, now I'm done with the base coat. Now once you get the base coat done, don't worry if this part, the part that you put the cardboard on, the color is not staying. Don't worry about that because you might actually color over that. For now, we just wanted the mask to look just like it was made actually out of pottery. You can leave some of the lightness from the mask on there and some streaks. Okay, we want to make it look natural. After this is done drying, we'll go ahead and start painting our designs. This is a good time while it's drying to look at the African travel masks that was provided with it and see what kind of design do you want to put on this particular mask. When it's nice and dry on the base, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Once it looks like it's kind of has that look, like it doesn't have that shiny look like right up there, now I can see what kind of color that I picked. And now I'm ready to go ahead and use the next colors. Now this is all determined by you how you're going to make it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my next color, which is yellow. And if you think it needs another coat of paint, you can always wait until the first set dries. Now if you're going to switch colors, make sure you get all the color off your brush and then try to wipe her off on the newspaper. That'll give you a better determination if you got rid of all the color off your brush or not. Move on to another color. Now remember, you're designing this mask however you like. So you don't have to design it the way I design it or paint it. I'm just going to pause this for a bit and then I'll continue when this is done, okay? Now what we're going to do first is trim the crepe paper. And there you have it. Your very own African mask. And like I said, you don't have to design it the way I do it. This is your creativity. You can make zigzags, you can make suns, add a flame on the top of the head, lines, patterns, and don't forget that you have this travel mask guide. Gives you some inspiration on what designs you can do on your mask. I hope y'all enjoyed this project, okay? And don't forget to hang this up on your wall. Bye!